Hey y'all, before you start the video, I wanted to put this in. You basically will hear me say this in the video as you go along in it and continue to watch. The reason Lennon got on his platform and spoke how he spoke, said what he said, which I stand with Lennon. I agree with Lennon 100%, and I stand with him, and he was in the right form of fashion when he said this. So it turns out the backstory is the reason Lennon got on the platform and said what he said about Stephen A. Smith is because Stephen A. Smith made opinions and gave his thoughts on the ICE shooting, saying allegedly that it was justified. And my opinion and my perspective, which I say is later on in the video close to the end, which I'm going to say it here, is that basically tells me and everybody else everything that we need to know. He's definitely love closing up. And he's definitely like trying to be friends and try to do this and do that for a community that does not care about them, that thinks they're his friends, but they're not. They're not your friends. They don't like you. They're just getting what they can get out of you and toss you out. And the way you talk to black peoples, the way you try to belittle your own community, the community that you cozying up to, you ain't gonna get out of line with them. Because I bet if you said something out of line with them, they will check you so fast and in a hurry, your paycheck will go back bouncing. Your paycheck will bounce. Because if I'm correct, I think the community that you cozying up to, that might be who is the owner of your paycheck. Hell, I don't know. But, that's just my opinion. And that's why I say, and that's why I felt in my mind, the reason Lennon got on here speaking his opinion, speaking his truth, is because of this incident that Stephen A. Smith made in his opinion about the Renee Nicole Good shooting. I don't agree with what happened with Kate Nicole Brown. I don't agree with it. I think it's totally wrong. It's heartbreaking. And those agents need to be held accountable for their actions. And that's my honest opinion. But that's what I wanted to add in this video, you all, before you all start. Happy Tuesday, January the 13th, 2026. Love y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
I am so tired of Stephen A. Smith, Uncle Ruckus, fickle ass. At this point, pick a side. Or matter of fact, don't pick a side. Stay over there. Just when we thought that Jasmine Crockett read him for filth and Joy Reid read him for filth, baby, Don Lemon had his way with him because we are sick of him. Before I get into what Don Lemon said, I want to talk about, I think, what led him to talk about Stephen A. Smith, and that's Stephen A. Smith doing what he always does, and that's pandering to them people over there. He got on his, I think it was his podcast, saying that what that man or what that ICE agent did to that lady in Minnesota was legally justified. And then as soon as he does this all the time, as soon as he gets backlash, then he wants to backpedal and coochie pop, talking about no. What that man did was absolutely wrong. Morally, what he did was wrong. And it's at this point, Stephen A. Smith, we don't care what you say. At this point, shut the hell up. But back to what Don Lemon said. He said Stephen A. Smith has been such a disappointment. He said he sits around, cozies up to white people and bashes black people, talking about shit he knows nothing about. And he said at this point he feels like it's all a money grab. He said that Stephen A. Smith has made bashing black people his stock and trade while simultaneously cozying up to white people like Megyn Kelly. Then Don Lemon finished that thing off. He said Stephen A. Smith is the black person that white people think black people like, but we don't. He said he does not represent us. Networks, we do not want to hear from him. Matter of fact, we don't even like him.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of DDTS, episode 708. I'm back with another video. Thank y'all for joining me. Happy Tuesday. I think I skipped the episode. I think I put 707 on it on the video from yesterday, but really it was 706. So I might have to go back and fix it. But if you know, you know. Please forgive me. Thank y'all for joining me. It has been a wonderful day. It has been an eventful day. I got my coffee. I'm sitting outside. It's not as cold out here. It's windy, but it's not as, cold. But I just love nature and I just love the refreshing air. But if you are new here, hit that like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell so you will get notified when I have new videos available. Today's video is going to be an amazing video, like always. The plan was I was going to do this video yesterday, but I didn't get the opportunity to, because once I did the video that I did about Jasmine Crockett and Tiana Taylor, and I talked about other things, I kind of got caught up in other things, and I was not able to complete the other task of video that I wanted to do. So I'm going to do it right here and right now. So today is January the 13th, 2026. And today we're going to be talking about Don Lennon and his response on Stephan A. Smith. What he basically said about Stephan A. Smith in his podcast, or he was a guest star on the podcast. And for one, I laughed. I rewatched that video like 2 to 3 times. The video was shared to me on Instagram. And I said, you know what? Let me put this in my bookmarks so I can keep it in my bookmarks, so I can keep it in my notes, just in case I wanted to talk about it in a video. And here we are. And I will say this, Don Lennon has grown on me. I've always had respect for Don Lennon. I will say that. And I will also say, when he was with that company that he was with, it's like something was over his shoulders, like he couldn't be his authentic self, like he couldn't say the things that he wanted to say. It's like when he was with that company, it's like he was forced to say things and do things that he really did not want to do. And honestly, I will say this. Depending on who you work for and who you are with, they expect you, to abide by them because they got you under a contract and you must abide by it. But fast forward, when Don Lennon was let go, or better yet, he left the company that he was at, he started doing his own thing. And when Don Lennon started doing his own thing, it's like a shell. And it's like something has been risen off of Don Lennon. And Don Lennon just started being his authentic self. Don Lennon just started saying stuff left and right. He's basically been living his best life. And I am here for it. That's why I say Don Lennon has grown on me. And this is when I say I respect Don Lennon with every fiber in my body. Not just because he's a black gay man, but because he is a man of his word. And he is a man what he believes in. And he is what I call a person that is going to say how they feel. That's going to tell it like it is. That's going to do what I see is fit. Do what I want to do when I want to do it. And not going to let nobody control me. And if you get mad, then so be it. You just be mad. So yes, indeed. I really respect Don Lennon. And I really salute to him. So let's go ahead and get into this video. While I said this video is about Don Lennon, let's go ahead and get into this video while I said why I said. So it says here, via Neighborhood Talks, and we're going to be talking about Don Lennon, what he said about the Ninja Turtle looking self, Stephan A. Smith. Don Lennon says Stephan A. Smith is a disappointment that causes up to the white peoples and bashes blacks. He talks about S that doesn't know about. He talks about S he doesn't know about. It got to be for the money. Black people don't want to hear from him. And this is when I say, this is why I stand with Don Lennon. And this is why I love Don Lennon. And this is why I agree with this wholeheartedly. And I have a lot to elaborate on with Stephan A. Smith. I don't know if y'all remember. But remember sometime last year, I did a video on Stephan A. Smith and what he was talking about Jasmine Crockett. Like he literally bashed Jasmine Crockett, etc., talking about her state of Texas and everything, this and that and third. Basically, Stephan A. Smith, he was talking about politics on his sports talk show. I said this on the video, I believe, and I'm going to say it again. He does not need to talk about politics, and he do not need to talk about nothing he don't know anything about. And he needs to stop cozying up and trying to make these white folks happy. They really be laughing at his Ninja Turtle ass behind his back. If we're going to be honest with it, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Let's keep it 100. I agree with Don Lennon, and I'm going to add my perspective. I agree with Don Lennon because everything that Don Lennon is saying is true. And everybody around the world that has listened to Stephan A. Smith run his mouth and do all this damn loud yelling like he a damn preacher at a church, thinking everybody's supposed to listen to him, when really, why would you want to do that? Why you suspect peoples of the black community want to listen to you when you do nothing but bash black peoples? It's bad enough you bash black women, and you had the nerve and the caucasity and the audacity to bash Jasmine Crockett. Like, it's got to be for the money. Because if you cared for your community, you wouldn't be bashing your community. You wouldn't be talking bad on your community. You wouldn't be talking bad on your community like we are your enemies, honey. We not your enemies. First and foremost, we didn't do a thing to you. But I understand why you did it the way you did it. You did it just to make these white folks happy. You did it because you feel like if you can belittle black folks, belittle a community that you come from, belittle a community that basically stood behind you before you start talking all this cash money stuff about your community, you would have had something. But you go off the deep end and you belittle your whole community just to make another community happy. They don't even give a damn about our community. It goes from years and years and years. You do anything to satisfy another community just to make yourself look good. Just to fit into a community that don't even give a damn about you. Just to fit into a community that be laughing about you behind your back. Just to try to fit in a community that want to see you tap dance. Those peoples that you try to fit into, Mr. Smith, are not your friends. They're not your friends. They were never your friends. And that's just how I see it. You know, I know a lot of y'all might not agree with me. I know a lot of y'all probably Stephen A. Smith fans, and I understand that. But the truth is the truth. The only likable person that people's might like in your circle, and I don't even know this person, might be your child, and I don't even know her. But you, sir, you're not like it. You're not welcome in our community. You're not welcome. You're not welcome. To me, you're not welcome. I can't say for anybody else. Maybe somebody else will open the door for you, but me, I have nothing left for you. The thing with me is, you was kind of, I put it like this. If we're gonna be 100, I lost all respect for you when you started trying to talk about O.J. Simpson. And he has some side remarks to say about O.J. Simpson or whenever. That was after O.J. Simpson had passed away. Then fast forward, he want to bash Jasmine Crockett. Then want to bash Kamala Harris. It's like, damn, you have so much hate for black women that bad that you have to disrespect a black woman by calling them out? Do you hate black women that bad that you have to disrespect them and say what you said? Sir, if you don't remember, you was birthed by a black woman. And you have the audacity and the caucasity to try to bash black women, better yet, black peoples, saying that your quote that Jasmine Crockett should listen to DT in the administration, saying that black folks should just learn to go over to the other side. No, that would be you, sir. That would be you. And I agree with Don Lennon on his response, what he said. But what I just gave y'all, that's my opinion. And that's just how I see it. You don't have to agree with me, but it's the truth. Now, let me go back to it. Don Lennon said, Stephen A. Smith is a disappointment that causes up to the white peoples and bashes blacks. He talks about shit he doesn't know anything about. It's got to be for the money. Black people don't want to hear from him. And that's the truth. Black peoples do not want to hear from you. We do not want to hear from you. You cozy up to the damn white folks because you think that they your friends. You think that they gonna give you something more than you already have, but they ain't. These white folks ain't studying you. If you ain't learned your lesson by now, some of these white folks, not all, but some, they're going to use you to get what they want out of you. But then once they get what they want, boom, you are over with. You're gone. You're gone. Just like some people in our community. They get what they want out of you, then boom, you're gone. You're gone. But that's for everybody. That works in all sorts of factors. But if you ain't learned your lesson, you will never learn. I don't understand why would you cozy up to a community that has not done a thing for you. You might have people that watch your shows, that watch your podcast, but at the end of the day, they're not your fans, they're not your friends. And you want to know why people stay being on you. You want to know why people stay coming for you. You want to know why people don't want to hear from you. It's because of the disrespect that you give your own community. The disrespect that you give your own community. The disrespect you give the black women of our community. The disrespect basically saying you don't care about our community. You basically saying that us as black folks is the problem. But really, we are not the problem. You the problem. You the problem that want to cozy up to a community that does not give a damn about you. You the one that want to cozy up to a community that you let talk to you in a type of way. But I tell you this, you want to get that community, that mouth that you give the black folks. You really want to get smart with our community, bash our community, but not one time have I heard you bash somebody else of the community that you want to cozy up to. Now, if I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion. And Don Lennon hit it right on the head. And it's something else that Don Lennon said. I had to laugh. And then he gets to talking like he at a church, like he a preacher. They try to get people to laugh. He's like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I would even put a clip of the video in my video. I even put the clip what Don Lennon says, allegedly. I will put that in this video, and it's alleged, okay? Alleged. And it is true. It's got to be for the money, because what is it for? I bet if he wasn't getting paid by them, he wouldn't do this. But I will say, not just Stephen A. Smith has done this. I bet deep down it's a lot of black folks, some black peoples in our community that would rather be in the position that Stephen A. Smith in, that thinks belittling your own community just to get to the top is the right thing to do. Not saying everybody in our community is perfect, but at the end of the day, our community, the black community, is the most and is the one community that has brought a lot of stuff into perspective. If it wasn't for our community, we wouldn't have culture. If it wasn't for our community, we wouldn't have a lot of these things that we have now. It wouldn't be no Black History Month. It wouldn't be no air conditioner and everything else. If you know, you know. The list goes on. The black community, in my opinion, is the only community that basically has formed so many things without the decades in recent years. Not only just the black community, but you got the black and brown, you got Mexicans, you got Puerto Ricans, you got Dominicans, you have all of these communities, all that stands with our community. Because we still have a lot of peoples in the Mexican community, the Dominican Republic community, the Puerto Rican community, the Latino community. You get what I'm saying? You in the black and brown community, our community, you have a lot of black peoples. You have a lot of Hispanics, Latinos in the community, people of color in the community that stands with us, that has created so much diversity, that has created so much cultural things, that has rocked with us and that has partnered with us, and we have partnered with them, that wants to be a part of us. But you do have some in our communities. In those communities that I just named, you do have some that don't want to be a part of us. You do have some that claim that, no, I'm not black, I'm not black, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not black. Okay, you saying you're not black, but your skin is darker like mine. So what does that tell you? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying it how I see it. Lennon also says, like, when he be talking like he in church, like he be hollering and stuff, when he be talking, thinking people's gonna listen to him. What you gonna do? What you gonna do, or something like that. He's like, I put it in the video, y'all. I put the clip in the video. He says it's got to be for the money. It has to be. And I agree. It has to be for the money. So what is it for? Is it worth betraying your community that you was born into, that you come from, that helped you get to where you are? I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for the black community, your podcast, the podcast that he has, wouldn't be where it's at. Now, I'm not going to just, I'm just not going to, trash talk him, because I'm not. I'm just speaking my truth. I'm just speaking my opinion. 2026 will be the truth speaking method from me. I'm an Aquarius and I keep it a buck 100. I'm very blunt. So if you do not agree with me, and if you don't like what I say, and that's totally fine, but it's the truth. The moral of the story is, stick to talking about sports and not talking about politics, because, honey, you suck at that. You suck at that. You suck at talking about politics. Politics is not for everybody. It's not for me. But I will speak on what I know. If you speak on what you know, that's different. But if you speak on something that you don't know exactly what you're talking about, and you don't have your receipts to back it up, you ain't getting nowhere. You're not getting anywhere. Oh, let's not forget. He talked about Jasmine Crockett. He talked about Michelle Obama. Tried to bash Michelle Obama. Kamala Harris. May I go on? But that's just how I see it. Now, Lennon, I love it. Lennon spoke the truth. He said what needed to be said. He did what needed to be done. Now that I done spoke my opinion and my truth, I don't know, will I have a YouTube? I don't know how will this turn out. I really don't know. But hey, I'm going to keep speaking my truth in my opinion, because it's called freedom of speech. It's called doing what I love to do, and that's being a content creator. So yes, indeed. Lennon. This video was shared to me Sunday. And he talked about, it says that neighbors done Lennon is over Stephen A. Smith. He called Smith out after his recent comments about ICE in the fatal shooting of Renee Good in Minnesota. If you recall, Smith said the shooting was legally justified, which promoted backlash online and regained conversations surrounding the law enforcement and accountability. Now, that basically says some more stuff. So, it had to be a reason that Don Lennon spoke up on this. I will be sure to put this in the beginning of the video as well. It had to been some reason that Don Lennon spoke up on this. So basically, Stephen A. Smith thought, giving his opinion about the ICE shooting, what happened to Renee Nicole Good, was justified. Basically tells me everything we all need to know. Basically telling us he is a supporter of them individuals. He might be a part of the administration, you never know. For you to say that that was justified basically tells me everything I need to know and many others need to know. That basically tells me that you definitely been cozying up too much to that community of peoples that you think your friends and is not your friends. And I'm just being honest. I'd rather give you the truth than the lie. I knew it had to been some reason that Don Lennon spoke up on this. And that's what it was. And Don Lennon opinions, to me, is valid all the way through. And that's my opinion on this whole perspective. I'm still pissed over this whole situation with the ICE situation, what happened to Renee Nicole Good. She did not deserve that. She took her 6-year-old child to school, not knowing that would be her last time seeing her child, taking her to school. And for these ICE agents to say they did their job, no, they did not do their job. They abused their power for evil. Not good, but for evil. And for people to think that that's okay, it's not. That's not doing your job. That's using your power. But that's my opinion on that whole situation. So let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with Stephen A? Do you agree with Don Lennon? Was he right about Stephen A. Smith? Does Stephen A. Smith cozies up to the white people and the way he bashes blacks? What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. And that will be my video on DDTS episode 708. I'm back with, that'll be my video for today. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Love y'all and talk to y'all soon. Thank you and bye-bye.